Greetings, nail people. It is noon on Monday, January 4th, and it's time for Nails Over Coffee. So let me get this turned around here while everybody is joining on in. Hello, everybody. All right, life by the glow of my iPad. So yes, today we're rocking coconut creamer and my old school antique rather large Mickey cup because it's Monday. Good morning. Well, it's morning where you are. I guess it's technically afternoon where I am, if that's the case, because it's noon here Pacific time. So you get to see my hair and all of its curls today, because that was yes, it's 2 in Oklahoma, isn't it, Brenda? All right, so let's just dive right in, shall we? Shira has formed a new Facebook group. It's called the Nail Addict Society, to go in line with her blog. And so I would suggest that you go check out the Nail Addict Society group. If you can't find it, I'm not sure. I know she changed the setting from public to closed, so that we didn't just have a bunch of non-professionals in there. If for some reason you can't find it, let me know and I can add you if we're friends on Facebook. Shira has been doing the Scratch Phoenix site group, but sort of in that perpetual branding thing, she's doubling up on content while she's doing Scratch. She's doubling up on content with Nail Addict Society and the Nail Addict Society blog. That way, even when the Scratch program ends, we won't necessarily lose some of this really good content. So the Nail Addict Society, trying to grow that group and get it to be a little bigger. But there was an awesome conversation on there. So yesterday, Shira brought up that recently her and Suki, our lovely Suki, Secure McLawson, were having a conversation about new clients. And the post says, when we start talking with them, we ask about services, preferences, lifestyle, and so on. We are essentially interviewing them. Do you book every client that is looking for an appointment? Do you choose if that client is right for you? Share your experiences. So it's been a really lively conversation. And I think that, everything ranging from, yes, absolutely I do, to, is that most people lie while being interviewed, so maybe we shouldn't call it that. And talking about, if we're willing to accept this person into our clientele. There's another post in the group about firing clients. I'm going to let that one percolate a little bit before I share it on here. But, so my comment on here was, let me see if I can get this to open up. There we go. I said, it's not an interview per se. It's part of customer service. So when someone calls your salon or calls your phone or however they make first contact with you, and that's a part of your process, in the 7 P's of marketing that I talk about in University of Nails, is how clients find you. That becomes part of your process. But so they find you, well, the customer service thing to do is to find out exactly what they're looking for and if that's something that you offer. And if it is, then great. You can book them. And when they come in for their appointment, you can do your consultation with them to kind of reiterate what you talked about before. And something I do now, if new clients are wanting to book an appointment with me with technology, I ask them if they have a smartphone, and I have them take a picture of their hand in the Pinterest claw and send it to me so that I have an idea what I'm working with, especially with acrylics. That way I know if I am sculpting on a nail biter, if I'm going to have to kind of reinvent the wheel, I know to add some extra time. If I'm going to have to take off some really nasty work, I know to maybe add a little bit of flexibility in my schedule right there for the soak off. So talked about that. And then if they're looking for something that you don't offer. And that may even be availability, personality, commitment to follow-up appointments. I mean, there's a lot of times I have the conversation of, okay, so you're looking for acrylics. Are you looking for a one-time service, or are you looking to keep them on? You know, all of those types of questions. And then say it's not something like you're talking to them on the phone. You're like, this person, what they're looking for and me just doesn't really jive. This is why it's important to network with other nail techs in your area, because it's okay to say, you know, I don't really think that I'm the best value for your money for what you're looking for, but let me send you over to Jane Doe and Roger Doe, and we'll see if maybe they have something that's more in line with what you're looking for, or refer them to a different salon, not even to a person. But see, that's all customer service. Like, I don't really consider that an interview per se. That's actually wanting the client to find what they're looking for. And on a side note, when I worked a couple years ago, I spent 2 years working at a large salon and spa chain. And so we didn't have the ability to talk to people before they came in. They just landed in our chair. So that really fine tunes your consultation skills. And so I think that that's something we all should work on. Even with your regular clients you see every 2 weeks, I have clients who laugh because I say, so are we doing a pink and white backfill this time? Are we doing a color? What are we doing? And they laugh and go, a pink and white backfill, just like always. But I always tell them, I'm always going to give you the chance to change your color. I'm always going to give you the chance to change what you do, because I don't want you to feel like this is something you have to get because it's what you've always gotten. And I think that's important, because I think sometimes clients leave us because they're afraid to tell us that they want something different. And so by always doing a consultation, even if it's a quick one, leaving that door open to them changing something leaves them open to new ideas, and it keeps them ultimately in your chair. And you know, during the consultation thing in the spa, it wasn't uncommon for me to do my best putting a full set or doing a fill on somebody, and then over the course of the hour and 15 minutes, you're like, I don't jive with this person. And so then at the end of the service, you talk about, well, you know, maybe you'd be better off with Denise. She works Tuesday through Friday. You know what I mean? You just, again, it's that customer service though. You realize if you know you don't click, then most of the time they have an idea you don't click. And so they're grateful for having you at least point them in the right direction. So, and I said that I would relate a funny story on this topic over Nails Over Coffee. And if you guys have funny stories about this, feel free when I put this video up to comment on Nails Over Coffee, to comment with your funny story, or go to the Nail Addict Society group, join it. And, so years ago, I was, working in a salon as a booth runner, and I was the only person who did gels. I didn't do very many gels. I had the gel stuff. I could do gels. I don't even think I had any active gel clients at the time. And a customer called and asked about gels. So she got sent over to me, and she wanted a very specific product, which happened to be Cristrio, which I had just seen at the Nail Pro Sacramento show. I had just even gone to a class even. So I said, well, I'll take a look and see if I can get a sample kit, because that was really the product she wanted to use. And so I was like, well, I'll look and see if I can get a sample kit, and maybe I can do that for you. And so I looked into it. It wasn't cost effective to get a kit for her. And so I called her back, and it was like, I don't know, a day and a half later. I called her back and I said, look, I looked into getting the sample kit. I can't justify getting that kit right now. I don't do a whole lot of gels. There's 2 salons close by I can refer you to who do gels almost exclusively, and those will be, you know, probably a better value for you. And she laughed and she said, no, I think I've decided I want you to be my nail tech, so I'll use whatever product you have. I was like, well, okay, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to do like the caliber of work you're used to, because I don't do it very often. She was like, that's okay, I'm patient. And so we booked her and she came to me and, you know, we had a little bit of a learning curve, but her nails ultimately did great. And she was my client for quite a few years until she went on the road, retired. And so sometimes the clients pick us, right? And we don't necessarily pick them. That was one I couldn't send away. She just decided she wasn't going to be sent away. I'm glad I didn't because she was a great client. So that was my funny story on that. So let me look at my little notes thing. I don't normally use notes, but I am today. Oh, Canadian Nail Tech Connection. They had a discussion on broken nails. And so I saved the discussion because I wanted to make sure I got back to it. So the question was, on average, how many nails are missing or broken when someone comes back for a 3-week fill? Usually mine will come back with around 2 off or broken. Any tips to make them last longer? I push back the cuticle, buff the nail, dehydrate, primer, forms, then put gel on. I'm wanting them to last longer for people. And so this was, again, falls under that process thing with like what products you use and everything. But she posted some pictures and there was some good comments on making sure that you have pinched, which I know is a really hard thing to do when you're sculpting gel because when you go back into the light, it just wants to kind of flatten out again. So maybe doing like a partial cure, and this was talked about on here, doing a partial cure and then taking the form off and pinching and then going back into the light, or using the little pinching clamps that look like the little hair things we used to use that go around the end of the nail to help keep it pinched down. Those were kind of cool. And talking about making sure that gel is super, super sensitive to any residual cuticle skin. So making super sure you're getting the cuticle off so you don't have lifting. And Suki brought up a great point. When you're cleaning off the nail plate, make sure that you're cleaning nail plate only, not skin to nail plate, because then all you're doing is dragging oils from the skin onto the nail plate. So that was a really good point. I think we sort of get kind of lazy about just scrub, 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 instead of actually like bending our cotton pad or whatever and getting it down in the sidewalls and coming straight out. So, yeah, talking about how, so I don't know. I mean, it depends. Some clients break the same nails all the time, and so they always come in and those are gonna be broken. Some clients are bangers and bashers, so they'll just be little chips, but no broken. You know, you've got your lifters who they always have a little bit of lifting. So the key is back to that process thing, that P, is finding the product that minimizes that for you. So you'll be able to find a product that minimizes, and then, you know, you have pickers too. And then that kind of minimizes that. Now, Brenda just commented on the screen, if you're watching the replay on this and you can't see the comment on the screen, that her clients scrub before with Dawn dish soap and a nail brush, which, you know, putting that soap into like a pretty bottle so they don't feel like they're washing their hands at the kitchen sink, but with a stiff plastic nail brush, yeah, because Dawn breaks up the oil, that would actually be really good for getting, for especially, maybe not even on everybody, but on some people that they just always have, it's in a fancy glass bottle, Brenda says, always have that problem on their nail plate. They're always, no matter what product you put on them, they're always a lifter or a peeler, even with polish. That's how I tell my clients, my natural nail clients, and they polish their nails at home. That's how I tell them to polish their nails at home, is I tell them to scrub their nails with a plastic manicure brush and dish soap, and give it, because the dish soap doesn't have any of the, not the lotiony ones, the gel ones, doesn't have any emollients in or anything, and that'll scrub their nail plate clean, and then they can do base coat and polish and top coat, and then they don't have to worry about having any extra fancy products. So that's definitely a good idea, Brenda. If it's done up in a fancy bottle, that's totally That would be totally awesome, especially because we should be having our clients wash their hands before we start anyway. Even if we're using hand sanitizer, especially during cold and flu season, like we sit and like hold hands with people all day. And, you know, come on. We should be washing our hands too before we're gloving up and doing clients, even for sanitizing and all. You know what I mean? Like we should really be taking those steps because none of us want to get sick. So, yeah, Brenda said if soap is scented, it has scent oil in it. Yeah. So do you just use the regular plain blue unscented Dawn in your pretty fancy glass bottle, Brenda? Yes. Okay. So that's, you know, definitely something to consider, you know, label reading like we have to do with everything, right? Okay. So on to other topics. So last night, good old original Dawn. Last night I did my first go round of the trial with the CYO gel. And I have to tell you, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't work with Vinylux. All I did was, I only did one brand. I compared CYO gel mixed with Midnight Swim Vinylux compared to shellac in Midnight Swim. Now I've got some of the pictures up on the Nails Over Coffee Facebook page from what I did last night on the sample tips and on my daughter's nails. And I have to report that one of the nails of the CYO gel has already peeled off today. And I just did it yesterday. And it hasn't even been 24 hours because the video is still up on Periscope. So if you want to see me do that and see the bottles and everything on Periscope, the video is still up on Periscope. I'm not sure. I'll probably archive it somewhere in the University of Nails. Love to be a part of the Nail Addicts group. Okay, I'll make sure that we get you on there. I think you might actually be able to just Facebook search it, the Nail Addict Society. But so the CYO gel wasn't what I was looking for to replace shellac. So even though it might be a great option for some other polish lines, I have 4 or 5 other polishes that I'm going to try to mix it with and see some more traditional lacquers and some more alternative lacquers. I was hoping, because shellac is of course the most expensive gel polish we use. And so I was hoping to get sort of an alternative with the colors that I have in Vinylux that aren't available in shellac, or if I ran out or those kind of things, to be able to have a shellac alternative. And hi, Lisa Marie. And I was disappointed. So go check out the pictures. It just didn't have as good a coverage as I wanted. And so definitely go check out the Periscope video on my first go round. I'm going to continue to mix these up and try them out. I think I'm going to go ahead and mix the rest of them that I have and do them on sample tips before I decide to spend the time trying them out on a client. Because after I mixed this one yesterday, I don't know that I would have actually put it on anybody because it didn't have very good color coverage. So go check out the CYO gel stuff in the Nails Over Coffee Facebook feed. There's the CYO gel post I did that's got all the pictures. And then on Periscope, I also have the video of the CYO gel application that I did one hand with shellac and one hand with CYO gel. So you can go take a look at that and see what you think. So I'm going to, as I get some time at my table this week, I'm going to mix. I have a bottle of Sesh, a bottle of Nicole by OPI, a bottle of Orly, a bottle of Dazzle Dry, and a bottle of Cuccio Color that I'm going to mix up with the CYO gel and try. And I'm also going to I'm going to re-top coat my nails, do a buff and polish on my nails using the CYO gel top just all by itself over the acrylic and see what that does. So more testing will be continuing to go on. Okay, so moving slow this morning. So for those of you who don't know, I had surgery recently, so some days are better than others. So I only got through watching Nail Talk Radio on Periscope through the beginning of the interview with Gina. So go watch on Periscope today while it's still up. It's at Nail Talk Radio on Periscope. if you watch Athena's feed, that way you can see everybody. And you can also, in replay, of course, you can go back and watch Braden and everything too. But so it's still available because videos are up on Periscope for 24 hours after broadcast. So it's still available until tonight. So go to over to Nail Talk Radio and check that out before it disappears. I'm going to do the same thing right after the show here, and then we can talk about Gina and Crystal Pixie and some of the other crystal culture things that are going on. They're all over the boards, but I'd kind of like to lump them all into one thing tomorrow. So we will do that. And then fun stuff going on for 2016 with University of Nails and Nails Over Coffee and everything. So please, please, please share University of Nails, Nails Over Coffee. I have new equipment on that I'm going to get. I'm doing all of this funding by myself. There's no loans, there's no GoFundMe, there's no any of that. So just like building our nail businesses, takes a little bit of time to get some, the different equipment and everything. But I found, and I will be ordering as soon as I can, some new equipment that's going to make demos totally better than what we normally see. So excited. So I'm going to do that. And I found a lighting and backdrop set on eBay for a really good price. And so I'm going to invest in that as soon as I can. And I'm also going to purchase. So when I was in college, not that long ago, most of us, oh, my new Mickey watch. I didn't get to show you guys. One of my clients got me a new Mickey watch. Most of what we did had online learning components. So through Cengage or McGraw-Hill, those kind of things. And there was ebooks and there was online learning tools and student guides and those kind of things. Well, now Mlady has that same thing for the nail technology courses. They have online modules. They have a e-learning platform to go along with the book and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase that and purchase the subscription to that so that I can do some sections of University of Nails that are in line with the Mlady platform. And that way, for people who went to nail school who felt like they didn't really learn how to do nails in nail school, which is a lot, then there's an ability to be able to go, or even while they're in nail school, to take their Mlady book, to sign up for the extra online platform stuff with Mlady, and to sign up for University of Nails. And so while you're going to school to get that license, to be able to, pass your state board and everything, you can actually be learning how to run your business and how to do nails. So until we can get a whole nationwide licensing system, that's going to be, I think, the best we can do. So all kinds of cool things coming up for this year as money allows. And hopefully this week, as things go on a little better, I'm looking over at my desk, I will be able to spend some time at my desk and get University of Nails live. Yay! So, unless anybody has anything else they would like to bring up, anything they'd like me to research and look into, any topics that you'd like Nails Over Coffee to dig into, I'll drink my coffee here. Will we see if there's anything you guys would like me to investigate? And if not, then we will sign off for today from a very cold but no longer snowy Tacoma, Washington. And yeah, all right, well, that's it for Monday, January 4th. I will see you tomorrow at approximately noon Pacific time, give or take, and have a very nail-tastic Monday off. Thanks, guys. See ya.